Welcome to General Anatomy and Physiology Blended at Western Technical College. I am your instructor, Isaiah Foster, and today what we're going to review is the syllabus and a review of our Blackboard site. There will be a small quiz associated with this video, so once you're done watching it, you can take that quiz and I will show you where you will be able to find that quiz. So if you go onto your Blackboard site, you should go under syllabus and schedule. This is where you'll find the syllabus here, and this is what we'll start with, is just a quick review of the syllabus. So our first bit of information is just some logistical information. My name, my email address, my office location, which is on the third floor of the building. I do communicate better via email, but of course I do have office hours as well. Those are being established right now, so I don't have any concrete days and times, but I will let you know once we get going into the semester here. Our start date is Monday, January 7th, and our official last day is Wednesday, April 17th. Our classes run Mondays and Wednesdays for lecture, 60 minutes face-to-face, and there is about 60 minutes of online material per week as well. You do have a lab that you need to attend, which is a 2-hour and 10-minute lab one time per week, so either it's on the Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, depending on what schedule that or what section you actually scheduled yourself for. The lectures will be held in CUM 405, and the lab will be in CUM 402. Basic description of anatomy and physiology there, you can read that on your own. This is a 4-credit course with some prerequisites, and obviously if you didn't have these prerequisites, you would not be in the course. Our textbook is listed here. We do sell this in the bookstore. The one thing though is, being this is a blended component, you do need the Mastering A&P access card along with the textbook. I'm totally fine if you want to buy the digital version of the textbook or the print version. Either one is totally fine, but you do need this access card in order to complete your homework through the Pearson website. We do not sell these cards as a standalone item in the bookstore, so if you already own a book, you would need to somehow seek out this access card and make sure that it's the correct one. There are many different types of access cards, so you need to make sure that it matches up with this textbook and author. Course competencies here, these are the things that I'll be teaching you throughout the course. These are very broad and general, and then once you get into each competency, there are much more specific objectives, which I do have for you to review. If we go down here, we have our grading scale, so kind of chopped off here, I guess, but you need at least a 70% or better to count towards your program and pass the course. Anything less than that, a D or an F, is not considered passing and will not count towards your program. Being that this is a blended delivery, this course offers what we call an alternative learning format. So you're going to have some time face-to-face in the class. You're going to have some time out online, which means that you do have to put in that time online. This would be time that you normally would have with me if it was a true face-to-face course. And there is some homework associated with the videos that I put out for that online component. Just a reminder is that, being that it's blended, you still have homework for this class. You still have additional time outside of class that you need to participate with. You need to make sure that you have a 100% reliable computer internet service. Anything that you are having problems with your computer internet will not be accepted as excuses or problems for not handing in quizzes or assignments, because this is a blended component to it, and therefore it is expected that you do have those things in place. Now, if for some reason you have a computer issue or internet issue, you would need to seek out a public area to complete your work. Again, it will not be used as an excuse. Make sure you have an active email account, as this is one way that I can communicate with you outside of the classroom itself. Make sure that you're prepared, that you're doing the assignments in a timely manner, you're watching the videos, you're taking notes, because the videos that I have out there will also be part of your unit exams in class, so you do need to make sure that you're paying attention, taking notes, and studying that material. Retake or makeup policy. Each student may take a maximum of 2 independent, not with the class unit lecture exams. So you will receive one makeup and one retake in class per semester, and this is only for the lecture component. So there is a difference. What's the difference between a makeup and a retake? A retake exam is where you take a lecture exam and you score less than 70%, which you failed it. You do have one opportunity to retake one of those lower score exams and can receive up to an 80% on a retake exam, but they do need to be made up within 2 weeks after taking the original exam. The score that you earn on the retake will replace your original score, no matter if it's better or worse. A makeup exam is a time where, let's say you were sick on a day of an exam and you couldn't make it in. This is a makeup. So you don't get penalized for that. You get to take the test again, or you get to take the test, and you can receive up to 100% on it. Just a reminder, there are no makeup or retake exams on take-home exams or the last unit of the exam, last exam of the semester. All lecture makeup and retakes must be made within a 2-week time frame after the original. Now in lab, you do not get a retake exam, so unfortunately if you score poorly on a lab exam, you are stuck with that score. You do not get to retake it, but if you are sick, there is an opportunity to make it up. If that is the case, you need to contact my lab assistant, Deacon Stanek. His email and his phone number is there. He's the one that handles all of the makeups for labs, and this is a little different, but the lab makeups must be taken 1 week of the original. Late assignments or extra credit policy. I don't have any extra credit assignments. I do have some extra credit testing questions on the exams. If there is an assignment that's due and you do not turn it in, you could be docked half the original value or no points at all. Attendance policy is crucial. It may put you out of synchrony with the class and potentially cost you points on the next exam by not being there. So we just want to make sure that you're attending all lectures, because missing one will really take you off course and of course affect your grade overall potentially. So if there's any participation assignments in class and you're not there, you cannot make those up due to lack of attendance. Student responsibilities: attend, be on time, prepare for all lectures and exams. Contact me whenever you're having difficulty. Take all assessments on time and abide by the Western student policies, which I have a link there. And also really important is to have an active email account. Lecture or lab cancellations. If classes are canceled, then I will post an announcement on Blackboard, so it's always good to check every day on Blackboard. And also outside of the division office in the Coleman Building C100. If there's a lab practical scheduled for that day and I am sick, still show up for that lab exam. Somebody will be there to proctor it and or potentially teach the next lab's material. Just make sure there's absolutely no text messaging allowed during class time. Text messaging is considered a disruption in the class. 5 points will be deducted from your overall grade each time you are found text messaging during the class period. Once you start a lecture exam or lab exam, you may not leave the testing site. Whenever you do leave, I will take the test, and that is what you're left with the score. Student code of conduct. Disruption of this could result in a dismissal from the class or a reduction of the class grade due to improper behavior. No warnings will be given, so please be professional as a student and give respect to all individuals in the classroom. Course repeat policy. It's highly recommended that a student who does not successfully pass this course enroll into preparation of A&P, which is more of a watered down A&P to kind of give you your foundation for A&P. If you are going to enroll for a third time, if you failed twice and you're enrolling for a third time, you may need to seek an appeal from the Dean of Health and Public Safety. Just academic integrity policy that we're all, faculty and staff and students are all responsible for ensuring the integrity, fairness, and honesty of the intellectual environment. Violations of this would be such as cheating, copying, using external aids of any kind, taking tests for someone else, bullying, selling, stealing, soliciting, or copying material, plagiarism, unauthorized collaboration, fabrication, multiple submissions, academic misconduct. These are all, of course, what we would address at the course level. And if that's not resolved at the course level, then we would take it to the next level, which would be the college process or the college level, and they would deal with these misconduct issues. Students must abide by the Western Student Policy Withdrawal Policy. So if you are deciding that you are no longer interested in coming to the class for whatever reason, you are responsible for withdrawing from the course. The instructor will not withdraw you from the course. If you are left on our roster by the end of the course and you have not attended after a certain period of time, you will get the grade that is justified based on that, depending on the situation. If you have a disability, you can contact our Western Disability Services if you need extra time on test taking or quiet space. I cannot provide that for you unless you have a documented disability. So the contact information is listed right here with the phone number. Western's also a tobacco-free campus, therefore no tobacco is allowed on the campus grounds themselves. Now this is the syllabus. If we go over to your Blackboard site, you found this video here, which is of course not here quite yet. There is a little video on how to access the Pearson Mastering A&P. If we go over here to your tabs, you'll find the assignment tab. And there's a syllabus quiz. It's a 6-point quiz, so I'd like you to take this quiz after you've done watching this. It is not timed. If we go into our Unit 1, you can see actually all these other units that we will be getting to. I only open them up as we get closer to that particular unit, so you only see one unit at a time. If you go into this unit, you will see the online component and you will see the in-class PowerPoints. So in-class PowerPoints, these are the things that I'll be covering face-to-face with you, the 2 hours I have per week with you. And you need to print those out. It's very important so that you're concentrating on the material and writing additional notes versus trying to write the notes as I'm going along, because you won't be able to keep up with that. Online PowerPoints and videos and quizzes. So what we see here, you'll see a PowerPoint and a video link for orientation. You'll see a PowerPoint and video link for chemistry. And then there's a little mastering A&P assignment right here. And this will launch you into the Pearson component of it, where there is an assignment on these two particular subjects, orientation and chemistry. It is graded. Once you are done completing that, it will take some time for that information to be imported into the gradebook, but you will eventually see a score for that. So that's kind of what you would expect. Every unit is a little bit different in length. Some of them are most of them are 2 weeks long in length, but a couple of them down here are 1 week long. If we go into contact information, this is where you can find a quick, easy way to contact me. Computer services, Learning Commons, so if you need additional help with tutoring or library services or the Welcome Center, these are all quick links for you, so you don't have to try to go finding them on the Western website, which is really nice. The syllabus and schedule. So this is our syllabus here. We do have our lecture schedule. I don't have the lab. Well, you'll probably see the lab schedule up in a little bit here, but for right now, I just have the lecture schedule. And we'll pop that up so you can see this. We'll review it. A little slow today on the computer. We just fired. There we go. All right, get that. Okay. So what we have here for this schedule is, this is the week, this is how many weeks we have. We have 15 total weeks here. And this is the week of January 7th, January 14th, so it's always that Monday that we start. So our first week here on Monday, you've already reviewed the syllabus now. and you're hopefully going to take the quiz over here after you're done. We're going to begin orientation this week. Your orientation and chemistry assessments are due. Now, always your online materials are always due midnight the day before the test. So your first exam for Unit 1, Exam 1 on orientation and chemistry is on Wednesday. So your online component is always going to be on Tuesday at midnight, or at least in this situation. Now, not every test is on Wednesday. Most of them are. So you can see about every 2 weeks we have an exam. And you can see that it is on Wednesday. And then we get some that are on Mondays, so just be aware. So if it was due on Monday, the online component here would be due on Sunday at midnight. And we get down to the second half of the semester here. It goes rather quickly. The units aren't as long as they were in the first half, so it does speed up a little bit. And some of the units are only a week to a week and a half long versus 2 weeks. You also notice that there are 2 online exams that we will eventually get to on the digestive system and the lymphatic and the immune system. Really important right here, all lecture exams include the in-class face-to-face material along with the online materials. So, if we go up here, the orientation and chemistry exam right here will include everything that I covered face-to-face along with questions from the online component. So you cannot brush off the online component as a one-and-done thing. You need to study it, you need to bring it back to the classroom and be prepared to be assessed on that. Okay, so this is our schedule. This is tentative, although I've been doing this for a while and it's pretty concrete. I would say the only thing that would change is if we had a snow date in there, so just kind of be aware of that. Okay, and I'll put the lab schedule up there too. Your lab, you have a lab exam every week. It's a shorter exam. There are only 15 questions, but we learn about something 1 week, you're tested on it the next week. It's every week, where our lecture exam is a little bit different. And so really when you look at this class, you have exams in lecture and you have exams in lab. It's almost like 2 little classes kind of combined together, which means you're going to have to put a lot more time into this class. This isn't a class where you can just show up, expect to listen to what I have to say, come back and take an exam. You're going to have to really work at getting a good grade for this class. Additional supplements here, I did post some diagrams here. I will be having those available in lab as well. Some microscopic images. Once we get into looking at microscopic images in lab, there is some PowerPoints in here that will help you. I found a couple websites that I find to be beneficial for students. The U of M is better for lab. The McGraw-Hill is really good for the lecture component. There's videos in here, so if you're one that really likes to watch videos and see how things work, this would be really good for you. Up here we have our learning objectives, and so these are state objectives that the state wants us to cover for you. So if you look at these for each unit, they're very specific on what I'm going to teach you. And so it's not a bad idea to print this off and kind of use it as a study guide. You can go through it and say, do I know this? Do I know this? Do I understand this? Kind of thing. And so I think it can be certainly beneficial. So that's pretty much it that I have. I think I'd like you to take the syllabus quiz. Feel free to start printing off your PowerPoints. You can certainly start working on the Pearson stuff in here after you watch the videos. You can certainly do that. It's completely up to you how fast you want to move through that. But remember, you do have due dates for those. So it's always the midnight, the day before your unit exam. So other than that, if you have any questions, just email me. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday, January 7th. Some of you will have lab that day. Some of you will have lab on Tuesday and Wednesday. But we will have lecture for sure starting on January 7th at 12:40. So again, if you have any questions, I look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, have a great day. Take care.